So thank you once again, everyone, for your help in rearranging the schedule and then getting everyone to come to the training today. Our second training is going to be obviously a continuation to the first, and we'll look into big data a bit more in depth, focusing on a few key data sources that we will be exploring for our project. TT will be the one taking the lead on a lot of the showcase here today, including a live demonstration of one of the data source, one of the data sources that will be important for our project. And along with that, we will also share with you a bit more insights on our next steps and what we're keen on taking this project forward with. I know I should say it at the end, but it's sort of a continuation to what we're trying to do. Anyway, for the third meeting, it'll be taking everything that we've learned from the first meeting and the second meeting and combining it together to basically try to integrate data from big data sources as well as traditional data such as your census or survey to produce our indicator. Before I pass it on to Matthew, if you wanted to say a few words, I would also like to again remind everyone that we're working towards the inception workshop, and tentatively we're planning for the first week of December, but I am aware that for our Cambodian colleague, the first week of December is pretty busy, and we're waiting comments from our Cambodian colleague after they've discussed with some of our other partners who are potentially doing trainings or workshop around the same time as well. So Matthew, over to you if you would like to share a few words before we start, and then we should also allow time for Mr. Somiti if he would like to share any updates with us as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob. Well, good morning, everybody. I'll hand back to colleagues in Cambodia actually for their comments. I will start the presentation shortly and say my words then. But can you allow TT to share her screen so that she can load the slides already? Rob?
Yeah,
TT, can you load your slides?
I think she has. Let me try. I think she already has this. I mean, she has the presenter's privilege, so she can share the slide.
Yeah, it looks like Titi should be able to share.
Yep. While TT is trying to share her slide, Mr. Somiti, would you like to say a few words before we start, or you will? Do you have any updates to share with us?
Yes, thank you, Savanarot. Would like to inform you that now I think we have new member that Her Excellency Deputy Director General so Savan Chariya. She has got training before regarding to the big data. She's here now. Chariya, you are here.
Good morning, Excellency. It's very good to have you here.
Chariya, you are here.
I think not yet. Not yet. She will be connecting soon, and so do we confirm to her already?
Before I see new name in here, but now it left. It left the meeting now. But anyway, she will join with us, and so she's Manrod again. I think I have go through the slide presentation. I think that is good that we try to using the OpenStreetMap or Earn observation to produce our data. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Bong. So it's fantastic that Excellency Chariya is planning on joining us, and hopefully she'll be able to join us shortly. But for us to get started right now, I'll pass it over to TT, or Matthew rather, and you can kick off the meeting.
Yes, please.
Over to
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning again. So today, again, we've got a lot of material to go through. I think it's worth emphasizing that we are going through a step-by-step process, and we're not going to learn everything today. We're not going to save the world. It'll be a really important part of our journey together. And it is about a learning journey together. And please share your knowledge if you have it, both of the big data sources we'll talk about, but also any knowledge around the context for Cambodia and what would be really important to think about when we're looking at particularly Earth observation data about Cambodia. Please think about your questions and things which are on your mind while TT is presenting, because a really important part of the training is about discussing and finding out what we need to know. So please do feel confident to interact and to ask questions. That's going to be really important. Can you put the next slide, please, on? Actually, the training we're actually doing very much training with Mongolia on Friday, which are part of the same project, but we're operating separately. But we thought actually it's really interesting to kind of think about the same kind of challenges and to think about what other data sources are relevant, and that the part of the learning process is actually let's not just focus on one indicator, because you may want to think about other indicators and a lot of when we go to develop your national strategies, we have to think about not just solving ahead of us around access. We perhaps think about wider challenges in using big data. So let's make sure we maintain that at the moment, this kind of wider perspective. Next slide, TT, please. So in terms of today's agenda, did you move this? Thank you. As Roth mentioned, Roth already mentioned that the next training course will focus on bringing together the knowledge. You've gone through all the slides now, TT. Can we go back to the agenda? Anyway, the next training session, which I think will be in a week now, will be about, okay, we've understood what big data is. We're getting to understand a little bit using Earth observation data or similar kinds of data sources. And the next training will then be about, well, okay, how do we then bring that together with other data sources to produce something meaningful, so that when we're progressing to the kind of meat of the project. Today's agenda, so we're going to focus first on using nighttime light data from Google Earth and other Earth observation data. We also have we're going to try to a live demonstration of how you access the data and how you can potentially use it. And then I think a break for 10 minutes just to refresh, have a discussion, and then have a look at how to use OpenStreetMap, another interesting source of data which might be highly relevant for this project. And again, we can have a discussion, answer your questions about that. And then at the end, we'll have a forward look to what happens next in the project. But TT, are you okay with the slides?
Yes.
Can you hear? Yeah.
Yes.
So
yeah.
you could already start to go to your first slide and start the training if you like.
Okay.
But I don't know about you, Rob, but I've got a bit of a delay.
I
Sorry?
see that she has her slide back up now, but I think you're on my screen. You're on slide 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm on slide 2. So go to you can already start from your training slides. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you very much, Matthew. Good morning, everyone. This is the second training. It's mostly about the data source. So as Matthew mentioned, so the 2 SDGs indicator for the project is 711, the proportion of population with access to electricity by sex, and 11, 11. For Cambodia, the focus is on 711. So the problem with the big data that we will use, actually there is no gender data for that. So to obtain gender living in slum or access to the electricity, we can use census because I know that Cambodia latest census is 2020. Or also you can use a population registry or population projection or survey data survey. Actually, you can like kind of like research which one the best one or better one. You can try all the sources first and then comparing, and then if there is inconsistency, then what you do, something like that. So yeah, Matthew already mentioned the agenda, so I skipped this one. I skipped this one also. So what is the IO or remote sensing Earth observation? Actually, this data source is already widely used, and then you can see this here, some of the definition by USGS, by United Nations, by NASA. You can read it. But actually, this already used a long time, but mainly for agriculture, including FAO, also food agriculture, also use it, this one. But now, since there is SDGs, then they try to use this type of the data for other SDGs, including and also for other like ocean satellite account and other statistic or other indicator. And in that UN also, as I mentioned before in the first training, UN also have task team. There is a report there. You can also read their report. They also did some research or some activities, including one of SDGs, I think, as far as I remember. And the platform of the satellite image, it can be from satellite, aerial, or drones. But the highest one is the satellite one. There is plenty of satellites out there on the orbit. And there are also aerial and also drone. And you actually, if you have several type of this data, then you may combine, because like drone is like only a few kilometers, but satellite is out in outer space. And there are 4 resolution in the satellite. There is spatial, sensor, and spectral, it's a frequency, and radiometric and temporal. And I forgot, there is also a band in the satellite. So you can choose which band that you want to use or you want to try. So this is Earth observation for in the task team that SGD. Oh, sorry, that's SDGs 911. They try, and my colleague in BPS also try with the 911. This is the proportion of population that live outside 2 kilometers, something like 2 kilometers of the road, main road. And there are also activity by UNCBD task team. That's SDG 241. So this is I took this one from the material that Rob give. That's the Earth observation for SDGs EO. Or actually, there is organization they also try for SDGs as well. So they say that in that SDGs there is a task that is actually cooperation with task team of EO in UN, and they give some deliverables. Also, you can read actually in that, and also other research for SDGs like in the EO compendium. They make kind of like a rec about the possibility of using the EO compendium. So then this may be different. It depends. So this is like they put the criteria in green, yellow, and red in the IO compendium. And for the Earth observation, also from the EO compendium, there's 4-7. This is 711. The agency World Bank. You already have the material also. It says that robustness is green, but there is some red area, the status indicator and others guideline. This is for the 11. Yeah, at the EO compendium, for the slum area, regarding the robustness, they also put some green and yellow or something to the change. Now the data source for EO or for nightlight, it's actually the same. It can be from map agency if they have, or aeronautics and space agency. Like for example, in Indonesia, in my country, we get the map from map agency, GIS agency. But for satellite, we got it from aeronautics and space agency, and they're actually practically the same, but the algorithm they use is the local algorithm. And also there is open source, also the GEE, and Microsoft Planetary Computer, NASA Earth Data, Copernicus, and others data source. So when regarding the data source, when we try to use For example, the data from the mapping agency scrutiny and check the algorithm, the data quality, and others, and also the language use. Maybe they use Python or other language, and you can compare or check with GEE. In my experience, we compare first with GEE because for official statistics like from agriculture production and for agriculture census, we use the data from agency, the aerospace, because their continuity, we can ensure the continuity of that. However, for the GEE, there is possibility that maybe in the future they will close, and then we have to pay when we want to access their data. So in Indonesia, for official statistic, we use the data from mapping agency and from the aeronautics and space agency. However, for experimental and for research, we use GEE because we have kind of like 16,000 staff. Then maybe 1,000 want to do some research about that. So GE have a big crowd for that. And then the research will not disturb the process of the official statistics because we produce like production or paddy production 3 times every year. And this is a Google Earth engine. This is open source have a platform, and you can access. And also, Rod, thank you, Rod. You give some of the picture how to sign up, and they also it can be used Java and Python, and you can do the data from GEE inside the GEE, the code, or outside. So, but for outside, you have to do on your server or on your cloud.
Hello?
If you already have Google account, then you can connect with Google account. This is NASA Earth data. NASA, if you already advanced, because the data of the NASA is more raw data, you have to understand many things. It's more, for me, it's more difficult compared to the GEE, but you can try. And this is the data sets. They have various data set, the Google Earth engine. So you can do some search or research, plenty, depend on the data set they want to use. And there are also various from satellite, Landsat, MODIS, and Sentinel. This is the various data set. And this is the nightline data. And night light data. So you can see here they have metadata also. They have explanation, and you can click all the tables. And they also give some codes in there. You can try. And this is the also another Google Earth Engine data. The planet sky. There also have description, bands that are available, image, property, and another thing. This GEE have some limitation. I mean, the bands sometimes is not available. Compare when if you use like map agency. In my previous office, the bands in the map or in the at the space and aeronautics data is more complete than the Google Earth Engine data. But like for experiment, then we can use or for pilot. And this data, either Earth observation or night light, they didn't have border. There is no border, so just plain data. So we have to combine if we want to use as a border like province, state, or cities, municipalities. But there is no available for village. So for village, you have to combine like yourself file of village with other data, and you have to download from other source. But the data is the same. I mean, the data of the satellite is the same. There's other source of the data also. And regarding this, the big data quality assurance framework, it is the same with the first training regarding complexity, technical constraint, the structure, and completeness. Regarding the EO or night light, it seems complete. It's reflect population, and the timeliness. They are monthly data, and like you are lucky because you just finished the census. But the problem if you want to produce indicator, which is like quarterly indicators or annual indicators, then if like youth census, then the indicator will come out maybe 10 years later or something. And also coherence and transparency of method and process. So others, I just compare the coherence of the data, then also validity. After we process or we got the indicator or the data, then we can compare with other data source to check. And you can also use like a kind of like statistic, either a root mean square error or MAA, mean absolute error, or other like Pearson correlation. So this is the first section. So I will answer then.
Excuse me, Savanrod, can you record the video?
Yes, Bong. The video is already recording, and I will share the video after the training as well. So thank you for the reminder.
Okay, thank you.
Please go ahead, TT. Thank you.
Okay, so I will share my screen for a bit of demo. Sorry, I will close my camera. Yes.
GT.
Yeah.
Sorry, caught me eating a banana. Maybe we can go through the slides first. Look at
Okay.
and then try a live demonstration later, because we know that there's a lot of data, and it might create a bandwidth issue. So let's I think go through the slides first, and then do the demonstration, the live version afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, good
Okay.
point, Matthew and TT. Yes, please explain through the slide the the purpose of each steps and so on, and also please speak a bit slowly. I think
Okay.
our colleague mentioned that you
Yeah,
speak
yeah,
rather fast, but
yeah,
yes, please slow down a bit. Thank you.
yeah. Okay, I try.
Thank
Actually,
you.
yeah, I will try. It's quite difficult for me to speak slow. I
Ah,
eat and speak fast. That's the problem.
it's okay. It's okay. Just do as
Yeah,
you
yeah, that's
normally
okay.
do
Yeah, yeah,
then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. Well, I try. I will try to speak. Sorry. Thank you for reminding me. You can see when I speak bahasa, then people confused.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah. This is the Google Earth Engine. For import and add map to GEE. So when you add map to GEE, then first you have to put like the map as a asset, your asset. So it's kind of like your legacy. So if like people want to use, I'm not sure. I don't know yet how Google like connect. Maybe they have some of data. I mean metadata or something. Then if people want to use your map, then they will ask you permission or something like that. And then maybe if they confused, then they ask. But that's your property. If you add outside map, or yeah, it's kind of like your legacy for the GEE. Sorry. This is and then after that you can use code for map add. Okay, as I mentioned before, the nightlight didn't have a border. So to make a border, you can use border or law. You can use either the data from inside the GEE, like FAO Go, or you can import. Use your own shape file. When you use own shape file, you can use inside the GEE, or you can do it outside the GEE, like in your server or on your data lake or your own cloud. This is I put the easy one and the simple one. So this is the combine code for combining the nightlight with local administrative unit. That's a profits. This is the example. So in this example, you can see the code. So image collection, you can change the image collection with other data sets. So this one I use like VIR DNB monthly. This I use the nightlight, and filter date I use the 2020 or from January. So from 1, so we stated 1st January to 31 January. And select the average radians. So the average radian within a month. So the default is the monthly data. Yeah, and you can actually change, like if you want to use the 2021 data, that's available there also. I haven't checked whether the 2022 data is available or not. And then we use low variables, which is I use the FAO goal. The FAO goal is the data from the FAO when they do some project for uh, World Food Program. So this is the 2015 level 1, which mean province or state level. They also have second level, which is a municipality or a lower district level. And administrative code, I put this one is 1516, which is Jakarta. And you can check you can see the code from the word for GeoNote website, and look at in there. And clip, which mean clip is cut the map. And this is the result of the result of the code. It show that yeah, in Jakarta that the radians is 31 point something 07. So this is the radians, the average radians in a month, and it measure in nanowatts per centimeter square per SR. The next one, if you want to show the image of the nightlight data in certain area. So the data source, the image collection is the same, and the filter date is also the same, 2020. Oops, yeah. Oh, this one is March. Sorry, I put March, not January. And map set center. The map set center is the latitude of the latitude and longitude of the area. I mean, like in Jakarta, the longitude is 100.06. That's longitude, and then the latitude is minus 6.2. And 9 is the zoom. Like what zoom do you want? Like that's a range for 1 to 24. So you can like put 9 or 10 or 8, depend on the how zoom in and zoom out do you want. And this is the result of the image of the Jakarta in March 2020. And next one, sorry. Okay, there is a hands. You want to ask question, Mr.
Yes, please, submit here. Please, do ask your question. Bong ai xua sầm nổ ban bong bạn em khơi bong lực đại bong.
បានខ្ញុំភ្លេចបើកសំឡេង
Bạn đây bong.
Thank you, Titi. Thank you for your presentation. I don't know the code is what is this code, and I think this code we can run in the web base that you just show us. We use Google, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's difficult to understand this code. We just copy and run, right?
Yes.
And then if we run on the specific time, then the result will show in the specific time as well, right?
Yeah.
And as we see the picture in the night time, how can we identify the area? As the result, yeah, as the result here, how can we identify the location of this area?
Because yeah, thank you, Mr. Someto, with the question. And actually, based on your personal knowledge, actually, like with in this code, like the one that I previously, yes, this one, map set center. That's the latitude of the longitude of the Jakarta. I already said. So I know this is this sort is a Jakarta, and because I know Jakarta, then this is the shape of Jakarta.
TT,
Yes?
maybe if you go back to the previous slide and use your mouse to highlight the code that you're talking about, I think the participants, yes, the map set center, right? That's the longitude and latitude. If you can highlight that, I don't know if you can highlight that. If not, that's fine. Or maybe just put your mouse on. Yep. So you basically need the longitude number and the latitude number, a coordinate, sorry, to identify where which area is Cambodia, which area is Phnom Penh. And then another step that TT will show is to bring in the LAO, the local administrative unit, and you can use that combined with this code to get the boundary, the border for Cambodia based on the province and so on. So the shapefile that you shared us, Mr. Somiti, is going to be quite useful, I think, for our practice. So yeah, over to you, TT.
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Rod. Is it clear enough, Mr. Someta? Or yeah.
Yes, thank you. Please continue your presentation.
Okay. And yeah, this is because I know
បងសូមដាក់ដៃចុះផងខ្លាចលើកអីគាត់ច្រឡំហៅបងម្ដងទៀតបាទអរគុណ
And because I know Jakarta, so the example is Jakarta, but maybe for your exercise you can use Cambodia or other, yeah, like Siem Reap. Actually, I have exercise with Siem Reap, but okay. This is when you want to like run for multiple states, because like the previous one, this one here, it's only appear one number, so it's only show one area. It's only Jakarta. So how the choice is like you can run one by one, like, and then copy. or you can make an array and then one simultaneously all. So if you want to like run by one by one, then that's still okay. This is only one area or one state or one province, but this is the example of three. The example here is Bangkok and other area. So it actually it's the same, only there is another farming array. The language is Java actually. But if you know Python, then you can write Python in GEE. But outside, for like if you plan to do outside the GEE, then you can use other code. I mean Python also or Hive.
Excuse me, Titi. Excuse me, Titi.
Yes, Bong, please go ahead.
How can we see the code to identify this is from for Bangkok that you have mentioned? Which line that you mentioned in the Bangkok?
Yeah. Here there is a code on the top. 2853. That's a Bangkok code from the WFP GeoNode.
So they have never so they have the list to show the country code, right?
Yes, they have the list. The list from the World Food Program GeoNode.
Okay.
And actually, yeah, but and actually, you can use your local if you have your local code. Then and you after you put in your save file, then you can use. But you have to define first the code. Define the local code in the save file.
Yes, I think we can discuss more later, but I think the code is different, not the same, local and the code that you have mentioned.
Yes, different. Also in Indonesia, we have different code because like this is the code the FAO use international code for the country. International code for the country we usually use in trade statistic or other statistics that the UN produce the numeric alpha numeric or something.
Titi, could you share the link to get the code, the country code on WFP GeoNode in the chat, and I'll share it with everyone in the Telegram group, and they can go ahead and look at the code while you present as well.
Okay. Yeah. I will check. Maybe I finish my presentation then. Then
Yep. Please go ahead.
Because I have to open. Yeah. I have to open.
Okay. No worries.
Okay. Oh.
No worries.
Okay.
You can go ahead and finish your presentation first.
So this is the radians in Thailand and others area near Bangkok. I only choose 3. And then another concern, like if we use GEE, this free today, but whether it's still free in the future, I think for a long time maybe still free, but I don't know. There is possibility also will be closed, like Google Maps. In the past, Google Map is open and free when we can do some scraping and scraping with Google Maps data. But I think since last year or 2 years ago, I mean last year they closed. We cannot do scraping for Google Map. And satellite data, like for official statistic, I think better to use the data from Space or Aeronautical Agency or Map Agency if you have. But if you don't have, then you can use GEE. And the selectivity bias, whether it's a represented population in terms of satellite, yes, it cover all the population. And whether the picture or raster clear, or if there is a missing data, because maybe the satellite is broken or something, like mostly clear. But in some of the nightlight, like in nightlight data, they provide two type of the data. We can choose with cloud or without cloud. Then we can choose the one that without cloud. They provide that for the nightlight. For other, so we can also choose the data and check the data. Okay, that's all for the presentation. I will see the
Titi, you can go ahead and show the live demo. You don't need to send the link to the map. We can do that after the meeting. I will
okay.
send a reminder. It's okay. So
Okay.
please proceed as planned.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Yes.
Okay. This is the example of the Google Earth Engine. And if you go down, then there is ready to use dataset. Then you can just like click or explore the dataset. Because I already signed up, then automatically go to this one, and then click view dataset. Then so they have like Landsat, Modis, and Sentinel. Then if you want to, like if you already know what data set that you want to use, that just click like, yeah, I already know that fears, then I just here search for fear, then come up with some of fear data sets. And there is two version here of the data sets. So there is two, like band composite and then NetLab day, sorry. And here you can see this is they have also give the some of the code, and often there are also some of research. Then you can see like this one band, the resolution and band. You can click, and there is a metadata here, and image property, and there is yeah. This is the citation. You can see also. So this is the if you're just like you just click and Landsat, then there another Landsat collection that you can use for other. So and you after this you can go to the because I already registered, then automatically go to this console. I mean, like this page, and yeah, just try copy and paste, and just run. Then this is Jakarta. You can also try another, like if you want to show some of the law, both here it's so this is the law. I mean the province in Indonesia. Some are Banten province, Jakarta, West Java. This is restaurant number. So this is Jakarta. Again, one that for 3 like yeah, this is 3 area is Bangkok. In Bangkok, different radians, and that's the month is January. In January 2020 in Bangkok.
Yes. Hello, Titi.
Yes.
Okay. As you have signed up already, and then the platform is looks differently from mine. Could you introduce about how to sign in as a normally, or we have a special key?
Can you show your page so I can have a look? Can you share your page? I mean your computer.
Yes,
Maybe
I will,
Dr.
yeah, I will share. Or it would be take time, I think, if can is it?
So open, yeah.
Can you
Okay.
now you see my okay, you can see my screen.
Earth Engine Google.
Yeah, for this form and
Go down, editor.
here.
Oh, that's I think that's the explanation. Explanation.
This
Yeah. Go to
oh, for sign in explanation.
yeah.
Okay, I will see that.
You go to
But for quick question on the platform, we have code editor and explorer. I can see
yeah.
only the explorer when I click explorer to see some data related.
Okay. I think I will share.
Okay, I will stop sharing mine.
So you go to yeah. For code.
Titi, can you explain what you're putting in the chat box, please?
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, the first one, the GeoNote, that's the code for the FAO goal, like the one that I put in the codes, like 28, yeah, 2853 is Bangkok and 15, 16 is Jakarta. So that's the code. And second one, the code Earth Engine. That there is when you put your code or script to process. That's actually the processing platform of the Google Earth Engine. And last one is Earth Engine and the flopper. The flopper, when you want to see the various data sets available in the Google Earth.
So, Titi,
Yes.
you've finished your section on the first section on the training, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, my suggestion is actually that we break for 20 minutes or more even, and allow our colleagues to have a look at the data, see if they can sign in and play around with the code. If you think that's a good idea, Rolf?
Yes, I agree with Matu, but I just want to clarify that we only have the Gmail account, and then we can sign in all of this link, and then we can use code, right?
This ideally, I try to put my email address, but finally they need to select the use the data with the data on cloud or without data on cloud, and then the process required to create new account and new Google Cloud projects to list fill the name of organization and project ID and yeah, the requirement of some completion form, but I'm in process completion form, and I select as a government or can be a non-profit organization for the form filling.
Yeah. Oh, you can like this I up to you. Like for research, I didn't put like I put my university and then put research something like personal research or something. That's okay.
Yeah. For now, bye. Just to experiment.
Yes, so we can try to register with Google Cloud with Gmail.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have.
Yeah, thanks, Matthew, for the suggestion. I think that's a good idea. I'm also communicating
I
with
think maybe
our
give them
Cambodian
20
colleague.
minutes to have a.
So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Matthew, I think you're coming in a bit choppy, but I think I heard you. You said that you wanted to give everyone 20 minutes so that they can play around with the data and sign up for a bit. I'm also at the same time simultaneously chatting with them on Telegram just to give some instruction and then try to answer any question. So 20 minutes is fine. So let's convene back at 10:30. Yeah, let's go with 10:30 or 10:33, whichever works. And then we can continue on with our training. And while we're taking this break, I'll also help communicate with them, and then I'll reach out to both of you, TT and Matthew, for any inputs. Matthew?
Yeah, great.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's come back in 20 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So let's meet back at 10:33 then. Okay.
Yeah,
Talk to
but
you
if
soon, everyone.
colleagues have any questions, they can put them in the chat box, and TT or I will answer them. Okay.
Yep. Sounds good. Bong បងមេធាបងសូមជួយ mute mic តិចបងបាទអរគុណច្រើនបងបាទ All right, everyone, shall we get back to our training? I think 20 minutes is up, and I'm glad to see that our colleague in Cambodia managed to get access to the code editor and managed to run the code as well. Mr. Sumeti in particular managed to do so. Before we move on, may I please check if everyone is back in the training? Also, a very warm good morning to Excellency Jariya. Thank you for taking your time and joining us today. ជំរាបសួរលោកជំទាវ
ចាជំរាបសួរហើយអធិស្ឋានផងដោយសារនៅ office ខ្ញុំអ៊ីនធឺណិតវាអត់ដើរអត់ស្រួលអញ្ចឹងទៅដើរដាច់រហូត
បាទអត់អីទេលោកជំទាវបាទអរគុណលោកជំទាវដែលបានមកចូលរួមtraining របស់យើងនឹងបាទបើលោកជំទាវមានចំណាប់អារម្មណ៍ហើយលោកជំទាវមានឱកាសចូលនៅពេលអនាគតចាំខាងពួកខ្ញុំផ្ញើជា link នៅពេលមុនពេលពួកខ្ញុំធ្វើ training លើក្រោយលោកជំទាវបាទ
ចាហ្នឹងហើយអូខេអរគុណច្រើនហើយខ្ញុំព្យាយាមស្រាវជ្រាវពេលនេះលើកទី2ទេត្រូវទេអញ្ចឹង
បាទលោកជំទាវ
ហើយអញ្ចឹងពេលខ្ញុំនឹងព្យាយាមមើលពីដំបូងមកវិញដើម្បីតាមតនអញ្ចឹងព្រោះចាក់ថ្មីសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំហើយអរគុណច្រើន
បាទអរគុណលោកជំទាវបាទ
សួស្តីសម្រាប់រដ្ឋសូមពេល2 3នាទីទេព្រោះគ្នាយើងនៅអនុវត្តចឹងណា
បាទអត់អីទេបងអរគុណច្រើនដែលបាន update ខ្ញុំបាទអរគុណបង So we can give our colleague a bit more time because they're still trying to get access and trying to run the code, and I think it's they're making good progress so far.
Doing is good learning.
Yes, absolutely.
Dạ, សួស្តីគ្នាយើងតើអាចបន្តទៀតបានទេឬក៏មិនដែរ
Hello good morning
ស្ដីបងបាទ
បាទហ្នឹងហើយបងខ្ញុំចូលមកឃើញស្ងាត់ពេកឆ្ងល់
អត់ទេម្នាក់ពងតែសាកធ្វើpractice exercise not practice បងសាក copy code ហើយadd ចូលក្នុង platform បងសុមេធាបងនិយាយថាបងដាក់កូដឥណ្ឌូចូលដាក់កូដបាងកកចូលប៉ុន្តែវានៅតែចេញឥណ្ឌូហ៎បង
បានហ្នឹងវាអត់មូទៅនៅតែឡើងដដែលហ្នឹង
អូផាបងផាសពីលើគ្នាមែនឬក៏បង clear វាហើយបានផាសម្ដងទៀតបង
clear ឲ្យបានផាស
clear ហើយបានផាសអូខេតែវានៅតែចឹងដែរណាបង
បងសាកកូដមុនហ្នឹងឃើញទីអត់ចេញដែរហ្នឹង
បងដាក់បងប្រើកូដណាដែរកូដដែលបង្ហាញ night time light មែនបងឬក៏កូដអីផ្សេងដែរបង
កូដដែលគាត់ប្រាប់ពេលបទបង្ហាញគាត់ប្រាប់មានកូដសម្គាល់ប្រទេសថៃប្រហែល3ខ្ទង់2ខ្ទង់3ខ្ទង់ហ្នឹង
array ហ្នឹងហ៎អូខេ
បាទក្រោយ
ចាំមក plat
ហ្នឹងយើងដូរទៅថៃអញ្ចឹងក៏ដាក់ភាសាយើងបងកូដទៅប្រទេសថៃអញ្ចឹងវាត្រូវមូទៅថៃ
បាទនេះ array របស់ថៃarray ហ្នឹងបងវាតែបងឃើញលេខនៅខាងស្ដាំដៃអីគេហៅលេខនៅ console ខាងស្ដាំដៃបង ចាំមើលវាមានអាកន្លែងអាផ្ទាំងដាក់កូដកន្លែង script ហ្នឹងហើយនឹងអាប្រអប់ខាងស្ដាំដៃវាមាន load អក្សរខ្លះហើយអាកូដរបស់ TT ហ្នឹងគឺមិនមែនដូចជាតាមខ្ញុំដឹងគឺមិនមែនបង្ហាញហុកថតnight time light ឯវាដើម្បីទាញយកអា data នៅខាងស្ដាំដៃដែលមានប៉ុន្មានកូដហ្នឹងបងអាហ្នឹងគេហៅ radian ហ្នឹងគឺតើវាមានពលឺ level ប៉ុណ្ណាដែលបង្ហាញថាតើតំបន់នេះខេត្តនេះអញ្ចឹងជាមធ្យមភាពមាន access to electricity ប៉ុណ្ណាវាមានកម្រិតភ្លឺប៉ុណ្ណាបើមើលពី satellite ទៅបាទជាមួយខ្ញុំរ៉ានរបស់ TT ម្ដងទៀតដែរហើយនេះខ្ញុំផ្ញើ screenshot ឲ្យបងបាទ
ខ្ញុំគិតថាសំខាន់តើយើងយល់កូដខ្លះដែរណាបើយើង copy កូដមកយើងអត់យល់កូដអង្គយល់កូដនោះទេយើងមិនដឹងថាមានន័យថាម៉េចណា
បាទយល់ស្របបងឯកភាពជាមួយខ្ញុំប្រាប់ឲ្យ TT គាត់បញ្យល់បន្តិចពីកូដមួយទៅកូដមួយហ្នឹងតើវាមានន័យយ៉ាងដូចអីចឹងណាបងឃើញរូបថតខ្ញុំផ្ញើចូលក្នុង group Telegram ណាបងហៅឡូបងហៅឡូបងលឺខ្ញុំនិយាយបង
ឃើញបាទឃើញ
បាទអញ្ចឹងអាកូដដែលបងរ៉ាន់នៅទំព័រ slide ទី36ដែល array TT គាត់រ៉ាន់ហ្នឹងវាអត់ load វាអត់បង្ហាញរូបភាពនៅក្នុង map ខាងក្រោមទេតែវា calculate អាលេខនៅខាងស្ដាំដៃហ្នឹងហើយក្នុង array របស់ TT ហ្នឹងគឺគាត់ដាក់3ខ្ទង់វាមានខេត្ត3នៅថៃអញ្ចឹងវាមានបាងកកនៅនឹងមួយដែរហើយ3ខ្ទង់ដែលគាត់ដាក់ហ្នឹងវា calculate មកចេញអាលេខទាំង3ហ្នឹងអាលេខទាំង3ហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងគឺគេហៅ radian number ហ្នឹងគឺតើ satellite នឹងវាចាប់បានកម្រិតភ្លឺពីខេត្តនឹងបានប៉ុណ្ណាបើគិតជាមធ្យមភាពព្រោះវាចាប់ហ្នឹងវាមាន laser វាច្រើនចឹងវាចាប់ច្រើនកន្លែងប៉ុន្តែបើគិតជាមធ្យមភាគធំ boundary cat ហ្នឹងតើវាភ្លឺបានប៉ុណ្ណាអាហ្នឹងគឺលេខដែលយើងអាចយកទៅប្រើប្រាស់បានដល់ពេលហុកថតnight time light ហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងយើងគ្រាន់តែយកមកដាក់បង្ហាញឲ្យជារូបភាពដែលយើងមើលឃើញថាតើយើងអាចទាញ data មកតាមរបៀបម៉េចបាទ
អាហ្នឹងហ្នឹងហើយកូដអញ្ចឹងកូដហ្នឹងមិនសម្រាប់បង្ហាញlive time ទេបង្ហាញសម្រាប់បង្ហាញកម្រិតពន្លឺរបស់តំបន់ហ្នឹង
បាទបងអាកូដដែលទីគាត់ដាក់3ខ្ទង់មាន3ខេត្តហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងគឺដើម្បីបង្ហាញកម្រិតហ្នឹងបាទដល់ពេលអាកូដពីលើនោះអាកូដដែលបងរ៉ាន់មួយខ្ញុំហ៎អាបងផ្ញើហុកថតមកនៅឥណ្ឌូនេស៊ីហ្នឹងហ៎អាហ្នឹងគឺបង្ហាញរូបអាហ្នឹងបង្ហាញរូបភាពបាទអញ្ចឹងពីរកូដហ្នឹងវាខុសគ្នាបាទ
អូខេហ្នឹងហើយមួយទៀតឥឡូវនេះយើងអាចបង្ហាញតំបន់ដែលមានពន្លឺអញ្ចឹងទេវាត្រូវខ្ញុំគិតថាវាត្រូវការសរសេរកូដច្រើនដើម្បីភ្ជាប់កន្លែងពន្លឺហ្នឹងភ្ជាប់ទៅតំបន់របស់យើងដូចជាភូមិណាអញ្ចឹងណា
បាទ
គិតថាការងារហ្នឹងមិនមែនជាការងារស្រួលទេហើយវាត្រូវសរសេរកូដច្រើនហ្នឹងណា
បាទអញ្ចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាខ្ញុំមានចម្លើយខ្លះប៉ុន្តែឥឡូវខ្ញុំបោះសំណួរហ្នឹងទៅឲ្យខាងកុងសតង់គាត់គេលោកគាត់មានចម្លើយផ្សេងទៀតព្រោះខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងត្រូវការ boundary data ដែលបងផ្ញើមកឲ្យពួកខ្ញុំមកដែលវាមានទៅកម្រិតណាអញ្ចឹងតើ boundary data ហ្នឹងគឺវាក្រិតថាradius ហ្នឹងគេយកទៅធ្វើបរិវេណណាអញ្ចឹងប៉ុន្តែជាមួយខ្ញុំសួរខាង international consultant តិចសិន
អូខេ
All right, TT Matthew, I think we're ready to resume.
Okay, thank you, Rolf. We thought it would be a good idea for our Cambodia NSO colleagues to share with us what you found out, what problems you're having from a little experimentation. I don't know if you want to maybe Rolf, you could facilitate around the table show and tell.
Sure. Thank you, Matthew. Mr. Somitir, we discussed this in Khmer to a certain extent. So, but perhaps you can also share your screen or ask one of your colleagues to share his or her screen and help go through the process of you running the two codes, the one that would get you the nighttime light map and the one that would get you the radiance number at the right. And I believe you also have a question at the end, and then you can pose that question for us to discuss as well. Thank you.
Okay, I will share my slide. Khơi đi phải không? Khơi này khơi sẽ cho nhỉ?
Khơi bong.
Em mà. បាទចាដោយសារមានគ្នាយើងគាត់តាក់ទងមកខ្ញុំច្រើនណាស់តាក់ទងរឿងទី1វាទៅបណ្ឌិតអ្នកខ្លះបណ្ឌិតបញ្ហារឿងចុះឈ្មោះបាទអញ្ចឹងទី1យើងត្រូវចូលក្នុង
Sorry Bong, can you speak in English? Sorry for Matthew and TT បាទសន្ទោសបង
ដោយសារខ្ញុំគិតថាគ្នាយើងប្រហែលជាបញ្ហាច្រើនហ្នឹងនិយាយខ្មែរសិនទៅមិនអាចចាំយើងទៅអង់គ្លេស
អូខេបាទអញ្ចឹងក៏បាន
ជួយចាំជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសបាទអញ្ចឹងគ្នាយើងបានទទួលកូដក្នុងប្រព័ន្ធ Telegram ខ្ញុំបាន add ចូលអស់ហើយគ្រប់គ្នាអស់ហើយអញ្ចឹងយើងចូលកូដហ្នឹងទៅអាកូដ engine.com ហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងចូលដំបូងគេឲ្យយើង sign in សិនអញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវបំពេញព័ត៌មានតាមអ្វីដែលគេត្រូវការអញ្ចឹងណាគេសួរពីស្ថាប័នយើងទៅសួរមកពីណាហើយយើងធ្វើនោះដើម្បីអីអញ្ចឹងណាយើងអាចដាក់ជាព័ត៌មានរបស់ project យើងក៏បានដែរ proportion of access to electricity ហ្នឹងយើងវាយហ្នឹងទៅគេអាចឲ្យយើងចូលបានហើយអាហ្នឹងប៉ុន្តែយើងត្រូវមាន account Gmail ហើយយើងត្រូវភ្ជាប់ព្រោះនេះបោះ Google អញ្ចឹងយើងត្រូវមាន account Gmail មួយដើម្បីប្រើប្រាស់system ហ្នឹង free ទេណា open source អញ្ចឹងនៅពេលដែលយើងចូលបានហើយយើងឃើញ screen ដូចរបស់ខ្ញុំនេះយើងឃើញអញ្ចឹងណា là chân là bây giờ khơi screen năng hái miếng lại script lại sẽ new script cứ sầm rap dư sẽ code và dư sẽ code chứ dư tập tới dư pra cầm thì dư thể chơi code tiệt rồi lục xây thìแบบban hà những tha dư ai pra code xây tiết này dư chơi thì họ được Python rồi giờ họ program chứ nè còn đầu tiên nhưng mơ tới phải chỉ code bọc VB để ví dụ basic á phần lục xây thì và thà code nó code ở JavaScript á chứ nhưng họ sẽ bắt là code đấy chứ là bây giờ bạn tiền năng hỏi dân bạn việc tôi thay dân thời chốt mua chỗ hay tới dân copy code bảng code đúng nhưng mà bạn được trực tiếp trong nông Telegram của đột tác cứ miền chỉ bọt bằng 2 mũi này tôi tê các bạn thôi bằng 2 những nông bọt bằng 2 những miền nước kháng khổ mà bọt bằng 2 cứ mình câu nắng các bạn nếu như ai copy code trong máu mà lấy trong này nhưng cũng chặt phải tới miền câu đó giờ copy code trong máu chẳng chấm loại khăn với cái dương thật vô câu nó vào mà chua nó như này thắm ảnh nó không tha trong những ca còn nó bằng 2 mình bắt năng tích rồi còn bây giờ vô câu từ phở bây giờ còn vô nó như này thắm bệnh và chắc mà to bây giờ thấy dân ảnh control E nhưng lúc mà câu trả chó nhưng control E mới lúc như select all á lúc bị chó dân control V mới dân ăn câu từ bồn á câu là P slide thì mùi toàn mới dân select all mới bị bàn á control E là dân chụp ra thằng lừa nhỉ mà làm tới việc toàn trình ấy rồi dân copy code một chiếc màn miệng bằng 2 tới nái lại thảm và test nó p tâm nó cứ vi tranh lấy đơn hàng đam đáy nè nơi cái này còn dấu nó cứ miên sam sụp muối cho rồi pi đại tam lúc tại tam sản phẩm tôi bạn miệng mấy tha việc code cầm rất nơi phần lứ nơi trên pin đồng món năng là cho với dân cho bằng 2 câu nó ơi với tranh chỉ này tham tức là dân sẽ code thám tiệt mà phân là xa code dương miên xẹt nó bọt bằng 2 nhưng ai copy code trong màu này mà khổ đấy là những copy code được nó nhưng khang khổ nó nhưng ai sẽ là khang khổ nó bạn ấy nhưng đặng như thế là chứ video tới Jakarta hay Việt Nam bằng 2 chia 2 tí chia nái lại thả mà chỉ phần lư này ở trên pin học bon này bên phần lư nữa chắc mà to một tiết khi dương ai để miền câu một tiết nữa không qua bằng 2 bây giờ nó cứ hàng khóm ấy cứ miền là rắn multiple state mà chứ như tin nó cứ giờ câu của họ có thể thấy là đại miền câu múa chi trong Bangkok hay mấy nhóm anh chi mà sơi tới link xây nhận đấy nằm bây chọn Bangkok nữa á phần tác nhưng mà toàn mang khơi nhiều mơ thì tích trong xuôi thì mấy cái quạt bằng 2 ta tiền phần điểm hiến như trong copy code sấn copy với máu control C control V là control V có mất như enter muối mất là bây giờ mọi chọn nhé mà những anh ran mình đang nó và sệt đấy chẳng là tiếng nó cứ dương ran code nó nằm bên trong đang làm pi cùng rất phần lứ nơi đồng bón class này thì trong bảng cỏ này lại lên vào thằng này đấy tốt mà có cứ miếng đồng bòn đấy nó bởi vì chặt vô đồng bòn nó chẳng là pi dương muốn dương rán dương mưa khẳng đấy dương miên nơi hàng đam tay lại thân số nó cứ miên tại sao số mỗi chơi pi này dương ra thì muốn má lời dương răn mà đón tiếp dương phở câu mấy được bo đi tăng là bó khác nó bó chia từ tết thay là chẳng là pi dương răn tới là viên đang là bằng 2 lệnh là chỉ 2 lệnh của tệp bay đồng bón lên là trên nó buồn đồng bón mà nhé của dương răn là bay đồng bón nên nhận phay 7 8 kém
bài chỉ code nó terminal vì hiện copy đồ tiêu tha or rồi có Python thì chẳng pe bon select cái đó pe bon click run đó vì run đòi từng pin lừa mà đá bon tới từ bây giờ bon select tên này đài chẳng á và chẳng được pe bon ai sẽ select đón tiếp cho run tới một số về run đòi từ hàng lừa thì phù khơi hồ khang khó mà này time lấy có về load đón tiếp đây mà
run thằng ngon này
bà phải về ran thằng
bà chắc là lấy việc tiệm tôi đang dùng nô tôi dùng điện ca mà chắc là mà thu tí việc as I just would like to how to link to our administration boundary and to link with the our own administration boundary like a commune level or village level. But in our shapefile, we do not have until village boundary. we have only commune boundary. So how to link this night light time with our administration boundary? This is a question, and another one is you should explain more about the code, because we need to understand the code, even we do not know and we do not understand that, but at least we should know how it works by phrase, by line. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Matthew, TT, are you able to?
Yeah, well, maybe TT, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the two
I'm here, yeah.
Two questions. One is how do we get this data to link to administrative boundaries in use in Cambodia, and also to kind of explain the code a little bit more line by line. Let me suggest that we go back to the slide where you first introduced the code and just explain by each line what the code is saying. I think that's the right place to start, and then explain after that about how we can link to Cambodian administrative boundaries. Is that okay, TT?
Yes. I will share my.
Yeah. So maybe
I
use
think
your
I
use
should
your mouse
share.
to highlight the code.
I share my.
Yeah.
Yeah. I share my slide again, please. A bit slow, stuck.
Okay, we can see your slides now.
Okay. This is the the first code. That's for combining with local administrative unit.
TT, can you use your mouse, your cursor, to just highlight line by line and explain what the words mean on each line? Thanks.
Okay. Oops. Okay. Can you see my cursor? Cursor now? I didn't use mouse.
Yes, we can see it.
Use my hand. Yeah. This is if like that slash two slash. Actually, it won't be run because that's only separate. You already know. Yeah. So this is just explanation. If like I want to retrieve the NTL data for January, So that's we defined January.
Yeah,
And
if
the
I can
second,
add a bit, the 2// the word that follows the 2//, that's just a note. That's it's not a code. It's just for you to explain what you want to do after the /, the line after that. ចឹងបងចូលពីអា line ដែលមានចូលពីហ្នឹងអាហ្នឹងតាមបងក៏ធ្លាប់ដឹងពីមុនដែរអាហ្នឹងនៅ Python នេះក៏វាស្រៀងគ្នាដែរអាហ្នឹងគាត់តែយើងសរសេរដូច title អញ្ចឹងដើម្បីអាខាងក្រោមហ្នឹងដើម្បីបញ្ជាក់ថាខាងក្រោមអាកូដខាងក្រោមហ្នឹងយើងចង់ធ្វើឲ្យគេអញ្ចឹងបាទ Okay, so TT back to you.
yeah, yeah. Actually, that's the rule. I mean, the same. All the like for R, I don't know Python. I haven't looked. And R and yeah, for other kind of I use R. That's the same. Like if you want to put, I mean, yeah, explanation also. And then that's the language for image the collection. Actually, this is to retrieve the data. So which data set that you want to use? Actually, that you can like choose from the collection. Yeah, the collection of the GE. I mean the data in the GEE. And then filter date that the date that you filter. And the date of the filter here I use like for because that's I say January, then from January the 1st until 31 January. Since actually the data is monthly, we have to, that's the painful of that. But if you want to use like other uh, other language, you can do it outside the GEE. But since the data in GEE is monthly, then we have to follow like monthly, one by one monthly, and then take the average, like for annually, take the average using Excel or other or R or something. So since the data monthly, then that's monthly. If you want to try, then maybe you try with 3 months. The result will be same because the data source is monthly. And then we retrieve the geometric law. You can name that define name or define the language here. And here I use the FAO goal, the level 1, the province, and the filter. That's I want to see the Jakarta 1, 15, 16. But for the layout for the border, you can also use other map. I mean, like your set file map, then you can use that by putting in asset and then import as an asset in GA. And that's a map clip, which means cutting the map just to show the radian of the Jakarta. So average radian to Jakarta and print and at the console. But the comment you can print or you didn't want to print, that's it depends. That's okay. And other question, what I forgot. I think about the
The administrative
about the
boundary.
combination, administrative boundary. So with this comment, you already got for the administrative. I will check. I think for Cambodia, I only know Siem Reap. Try change the try to change the code with 811. That's Siem Reap. if you want to, that's if you use FAO goal, then the code for Siem Reap is 811.
So maybe this is a good start. So let's say if you go like this line, right? This line of code that says EE dot feature bracket, the line in the middle, under variable lao1 equal EE dot feature, open bracket EE dot feature collection and so on, right? So could you just explain what each item in the line says? So EE dot, I would assume that's a command. EE dot feature, and then what does the command do? And then open bracket EE feature collection, what does it say, and so on. So I'm assuming if you want to use a different administrative boundary than the FAO goal, you would replace the information inside the bracket that says open bracket FAO /goal /2015 and so on. So let's start with this line. If you can explain the line to us, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, yeah, that's you're correct. And yes, that's the data set, the FAO goal, the data set from the GEE. And then
Okay, so what does
filtering.
EE feature do? What does the command EE dot feature do?
That's retrieve the data set, other data set for the goal.
Okay, so EE dot feature is retrieving the data set. What about EE dot feature collection and so on?
The image. So the difference is the first one, that's the image, the fields, and this one, the both is including the boundary, the feature collection.
This one including
This
the boundary.
Yes. Yeah, because the one that FAO goal is the in the boundary, including the boundary. So different, not the image of the FAO goal.
Right. Okay. So the EE dot image collection, that is to bring up the image, which is the map basically. And
Yes.
then the EE dot feature is the command, or EE dot feature collection is the command that bring in the attributes or the feature from the data set, which is the numbers in the shapefile for land boundaries. Am I correct?
Yes. Actually,
Okay.
for the image is both the image and the data also, because in their fields there's also the data, the elimination for
Right.
its yeah, because that like a bug, I mean, like is a globe and there is no boundary country, even there is no country
Right.
boundaries in that data, in the the fields data. So
Right. Okay. Yeah, and maybe the other code dot filter, dot first geometry, etc. What does dot filter do?
yeah, that's the administrative first, that province administrative. So we define like, because I want to just show Jakarta, so only
Right.
one code. So maybe later if like for different, maybe to the, yes, this one for if multiple set, then array here, that's array. We can put like here as example. I only put 3. Then you can like put as much as code here. Like if I want to put to run 34 province or 33 province, then put all the 33 codes here, and but only can run with January. And you have to make repeat then for January, February, others. So long code. I mean, like copy. That's for array. This one array like for Bangkok, but only for January. And the difference that's the filter. So the filter just so we have to go back to array because change. So no code there here, but we put array with we already define at the top. At the top.
Okay, and one last question from me, and that is on the clip. So what does the clip command do?
That's the clip is to cut uh, to cut every province or every law, every province or every city.
To cut
To,
every province or every city?
as I said, yeah, and then print it. So print it one by one. So this to cut, yeah. To clip,
Yeah,
actually clip is cut, yeah. Clip is cut.
can you go back to the earlier code?
This one. Yeah.
Yeah. So you said there's map clip and then variable night NLD hyphen underscore allow one. That's variable. You're creating a new variable, and that variable is equals to NLD underscore jan dot clip allow one, right? So you're essentially using two variable and a clip function. So NLD jan is the nighttime light data for January, and then you clip it using LAU1, right? So what you're essentially doing here is that you get the nighttime light data for January for that area, and then you clip it you cut the whole map using the boundary data that you used earlier, correct?
Yes. Correct.
Okay.
So if you didn't cut it or yeah, didn't clip, then maybe some area, I mean, like include in the elimination. You know, I mean, how to explain? Yeah, if you didn't clip it, then there is possibility other. I mean, in the print, I mean, in the console, there is possibly include other because there is no boundary in that data.
Yeah, so the clip function is very important to make sure that we don't account for radiance from other area as well. Okay, I hope this is helpful, Mr. Sumiti and others. But please do ask any questions if you're still not sure of any points.
Yes, thank you. I just would like to clarify some comment here regarding to the image collection bracket NOAA blah blah blah. I think this is the part of the file, right?
Part for the what?
Part for
the path for the file.
For the image.
Which one? With this one?
NOAA/VIOS DNB monthly V1 VCML. What is it? This one?
Can you move your mouse to the top, third line from the top?
Oh, this one. Image. This one.
Yeah, the bracket, the word in the bracket, NOAA, etc.
Oh, yeah, oh, this is the name. Yeah. this is the name of the file in Google Earth engine. So the name should be exactly the same, the one data set.
Okay, so you mentioned monthly underscore v1 mean we collect the image by month, right? But what is
Yeah.
v1?
That's the name actually. I don't know, to be honest, because there's already this is you maybe I will show if you go to the data set
Yes, that would be helpful if you can
that with the
show
GE.
online how to
Yes,
get the file. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. This is the name of the file. You can see. Can you see this on the top? This is the name of the file. So we just copy the name exactly the same. If not, then that's not before. I mean, that not appear. I mean, there will be error or something. So this is the night light, the one that. So there is many data at the GEE. So which data set that you want to use? That's define the data set.
So I think that is the path to select to select the image collection from this part. But you
Yes.
have mentioned that monthly. You have mentioned the monthly. We can change to the quarterly, right?
No, because the data in the GEE is monthly. They didn't have a quarterly data.
So monthly mention the system of the nightlight time they do itself, and that we,
Yes.
we just use we just use the part to collect the image. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, can you back to the slide?
Sorry?
Yes, but just to add, he wants you to go back to the slide for a bit, but I can also add a little bit. So please go to the slide. The data set on Google Earth is monthly, so we cannot change it to quarterly. However, we can still do that by getting the data. If there's, I don't know if there's a possibility to get different months. So let's say if you can get January, February, March, if there's a way that we can do that, we can get the month and then we can do a quarterly. We can aggregate that into quarterly, right? So there's 3 months to a quarter. So you can just take the average of the first 3 months, you get the first quarter, second 3 months, you get the second quarter, and so on. That is only if we can get access to January data, February data, March data, and so on. So TT, is that possible or that is not possible?
Yes, that's correct. That's possible. So you have
That's
to,
possible.
yes, you have to create a code for February, for March, for others month. They available because it is monthly. Then you have to like monthly, but in the whole year. But the data is monthly. You know, yeah. So that's possible. Then you have to change, modify the code.
So can you
Like
try?
one
Can you try now?
for the January for February.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You can just change. Hold on.
Yeah,
Maybe
the filter
go
date,
to
right? You can just change the filter date.
yes, the filter date. Yes, change the this one. Sorry. Yeah. So change the filter date here to February. So from first February uh, to 2020 is
28.
28. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 28. Yeah. So that change then. Then you change the retrieve NTL data February. So that is the actually the limitation of the GEE. So we have to do one by one. I mean, 1 month every month, and also here like every law. So yeah, that's January. And then like for quarterly, you can I think average better than like average radian. So average like you have like for January maybe 31.7 or then February 31 point something or less, and then you make it average just with visual average. That's what I do in the project for GDP. So
TT, would
1
it be
month and
possible? You know, I mean, the data is monthly, but but would it be possible to maybe change the filter date from, let's say, 2020 January 1st to 2020 March 31st, or the data would not allow that? The code that you have.
the code is running, but the result is the same with 1 month.
Ah, I see. So the result will not be correct.
Yes.
Okay.
So the result, like even you put like here, the filter from January to March, 3rd March, the result will be the same with January. So
Yeah, so you have to do it line by line to get the data. And can you do, you know, can you insert a command to do average already in between? So let's say command line 1, you have January, command line 2, you have February, command line 3, you have March, and then command line 4, you have an average. You create a variable that says quarter 1, and then you take the average of the results from command line 1, 2, 3, which is January, February, March. Is that possible?
I haven't tried that one. You can
Right.
because I do like one month everyone, but then copy to other. I mean to Excel, then I run it using R.
Right.
Oh, to R. Yeah. So
Okay.
to see. So I did. I
Okay.
never. Maybe you can try. Yeah. Maybe you can try.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, that's, you know, it's it's good if we can do it on the platform. If not, we can just take the data and then average it on Excel or average it on, you know, R or anything like that. Okay, បងមានសំណួរអីបន្ថែមទេបងបាទ
I have tried to change the monthly to yearly. It's not it show the error.
អូបងអា data ហ្នឹង ហ្មងហ្នឹងគឺអា data satellite របស់ Google ហ្នឹងនៅក្នុង database គេហ្នឹងហ្មងហ្នឹងគឺគេយកតាមតខែបងអញ្ចឹង data ដែលគេបង្ហាញហ្នឹងគេឲ្យតខែគេអាចឲ្យជាឆមាសឬក៏ជាឆ្នាំឯបើបងចង់បានឆ្នាំតោះថាបងប្រមូល data តាមខែហ្នឹងមកហើយធ្វើជា average ធ្វើជាយកមធ្យមភាគរបស់មួយឆ្នាំអញ្ចឹងយកតាំងពីខែមករារហូតដល់ខែធ្នូហើយយើង average មួយឆ្នាំហ្មងព្រោះ database របស់ Google ហ្នឹងហ្មងហ្នឹងគឺវាបោះលេខមកយើងហ្នឹងគឺវាបោះលេខទៅតាមខែព្រោះថាបើវាបោះជាថ្ងៃវាច្រើនពេកអញ្ចឹងវា database វាច្រើនពេកអញ្ចឹងវា system វា server វាអាចទប់ទល់បានអញ្ចឹងវាកំណត់យកត្រឹមខែដែលហ្នឹងវាប្រសើរដែរអញ្ចឹងយើងបានខែមកយើងចង់រកឆមាសឬយើងចង់រកឆ្នាំអត់មានបញ្ហាយើងគ្រាន់តែយក data ទាំងអស់មកហើយយើងការគេយកមធ្យមភាគជាឆមាសយកមធ្យមភាគជាឆ្នាំមកបានបង
បាទហ្នឹងខ្ញុំដំបូងខ្ញុំយកអញ្ចឹងដែរប៉ុន្តែស្ដាប់គាត់បញ្យល់មិញហាក់គាត់ថាអាចដូរបានហើយខ្ញុំស្ដាប់គាត់ច្រឡំអញ្ចឹងណាអីបាទបងបាទហ្នឹងយើងយករបស់គេមកប្រើអាចដូររបស់គេបានទេ
បាទបងត្រឹមត្រូវបងបាទហើយដល់ពេលយើងយករបស់គេមកបាទយើងយក data ហ្នឹងមកយើងធ្វើការគេខ្លួនឯងបន្ថែមដើម្បីរកជាឆមាសឬក៏ឆ្នាំ
Okay, Titi, next question is in the EE feature collection in the bracket file, And level 1. So level 1 is like a provincial level, right?
Yes, provincial or or state. It depends on the country because like the FRO goal, it's like let me show you that here the FRO goal here. So that's level 1, and then the whole world. I mean, yeah, they have word data. Yeah. So this is the name of the FRO goal because there is two FRO goal here in the data set, the GE data set. So the other one is the second level. That is, if you go to the data set and have a look and see the metadata and others explanation there.
So if we, in case we are using with our data in Cambodia, we may use the level 1, right? So we will know by the provincial level. So if we want to show the data through the commune level, so how can we change this level?
FRO goal only have until 2 level. Maybe I have to demonstrate. Change that the name. Change the name here. Change the name of our goal. The name that at the same with the GE. The file that's the same. Change the name under inside the bracket.
Okay, so
Inside the
let
bracket.
me try sharing my screen and maybe walk through this a bit, and then hopefully maybe TT can help clarify whether my understanding is correct. Because let's say if they want to use Cambodia data, it could be interesting. So let me share my screen a bit. Right. So let's say this is the data from the data from FAO goal on Google Earth Engine, right? So that's basically what we're looking at. And you can see here Earth Engine snippet. Then you have feature
Yes.
collection, you have feature view, and so on. And this is the code that TT used, and this is the sort of path to get the data from this data set at level 1, right? Because this is first administrative unit. So let's say if Cambodia wants to use Cambodia's data, first question is, do Cambodia needs to upload the shapefile into Google Earth Engine and then be able to get the feature collection command and path to use on the engine? Or can they do it offline off of Google Earth Engine? I'm asking because I know that the shapefile that NSI shared with us is not a final version that can be shared more widely. It's still just for statistic production purpose.
Yes, that's that's become that's become I guess.
I can stop sharing my screen. Yeah, if you want to share your screen, you can do so now.
That's become legacy. Maybe you hello.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. You can use your shape file, and but then put it in the GEE, then use that. Mm, that's possible, but then I'm not sure because like I'm not sure whether if they put it and become a public and that become your legacy. Actually, when I did that, we also have Indonesian map put it in there, save file map put it in there, so we can like use both. That's also possible. But for if you want to put the map in the cloud, then there is some other question you have to answer. And if like maybe maybe other people want to use that also, then maybe they ask you.
Yeah, so the main concern here is that the shape file that we have right now is not finalized. It's not
Mm,
for public
mhm.
dissemination. So if we upload it, I don't know whether it's possible to just keep it private and not share with others, or if there's a way that we don't upload the shapefile at all, so that we can still keep the file for internal uses.
As far as remember, I think there is a question. I'm not sure. I don't remember anymore.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that's possible. You have to like put it private or yeah.
Okay, and it's okay. I think there are Cambodia administrative unit already on Google Earth Engine. I think World Food Program has some boundaries in there. Maybe we can try and use theirs for now. But if not, then yeah, I guess we'll find a way. Can the code be run on Python or Java offline?
Yeah, I think Python. My
For
my
Python,
student,
okay.
my friend, yeah, Python using Python.
Mm,
Actually it depend on the infrastructure or depend on yeah.
right. Okay, that's
That,
that's
mhm.
my question. Back to you, Mr. Sumiti, if you have any more question.
I just would like to clarify that I think we do not need to upload the shapefile to the system, because I think that the system they have the boundary as well. So if we need to upload the shapefile, I think we can upload, because I see some uh, link in Cambodia. They have the training on the how to use QGIS, and then they also posting the boundary through until the commune level to the public. We can download from them to use if need to upload the shape file.
Okay, that's good to know. So we can download the commune level, which is very detailed administrative level just before village. So we can download the file that people already uploaded, and then use that, and then re-upload it on Google Earth Engine and use that. So we don't need to upload the shapefile that Mr. Someti shared.
Let me just yeah the as the one that Rod show that's level one. Then or the other one there is FRO goal also the level two.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think disregard what I shared with you. That's the file that Mr. Someti shared, but we can try to find the commune level data, the commune level Lao, and then I'll share with everyone later. But for now, yes, okay, that's fine. So, Mr. Somitia, do you have any further question?
Yes, I do not have more, but if our colleague want to ask, please. Another one is how to link to a shape file of our local. I think we do not have much time now. Maybe next training, how to link the data that we got from the Google engine, and then we match to our local code, local area. Did you unmute?
Sorry. Yeah. In the Google engine, there is asset. Then you put that map into asset first, and then when you change, then you can use map add to add after asset, then call map add. There is a hold on. You can go to the Google engine. Hold on. I will share. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes. This is asset. Then yes, in this you put code. This is so that will become a legacy asset of me if I put this. And after that, then here you use add map add map add, and then put item there. Map add, and then if you want the layer object, then yeah. So that
TT, are you trying to show upload the file or?
No, I just saw how to add the map in the GEE.
Okay.
Because like if I add, I actually I already add the Indonesian one, and that become, so if I add like Cambodia or other, then it's become my legacy. And then if
Yeah,
people
yeah,
ask,
okay.
then yeah,
Right, right.
if people ask and I don't know, then
No, that's fine. Okay, I think we're running a bit, well, we're running out of time. I'm not sure if our Cambodian colleagues have any more question. Please feel free to ask still. And if you still have more questions and if you would like to have us try to answer them, please share in Telegram, and then I will forward the question and let everyone know and try to answer your questions then. បងមានសំណួរទៀតទេបងបាទ
បាទគ្នាយើងមានសំណួរអាចសួរបានប៉ុន្តែយើងមើលចិត្តម៉ោង2ម៉ោងថាយើងគ្នាយើងភាគច្រើនគាត់នេះបាទ
បាទ
អាចថាដូចសវណ្ណរដ្ឋអញលើកឡើងថាយើងអាចតម្លាក់សំណួរក្នុង Telegram គ្រប់ទៅហើយចាំ forward ជូនទៅខាងធនាគារ
បាទអរគុណច្រើនបង Okay, I guess we should move on to the last part of the trainings today. But you know, thank you so much, TT. Before we do that, thank you so much, TT. It's been a very insightful live demonstration. I think we've learned a lot, and I think just judging by the number of questions from our Cambodian colleague, it shows that it's very interesting for them as well. And we will only look into this project a bit more later on. I'll hand it over to Matthew to share the rest of information on the training, and then we can close the training for today.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Roth. Actually, TT was going to explain a little bit about OpenStreetMap, which I think TT can you do that, and that you have a few slides on OpenStreetMap, and before we can kind of conclude, because I think it's interesting to compare and contrast data sources. TT, are you there? Can you share the slide?
Yeah, that's a very good point. So, TT, over to you.
okay. Yes. Yeah, there is.
TT, I don't think we don't need to do a live demonstration just because we only have 10 minutes. Just show the slides and introduce OpenStreetMap.
Oh yeah. That's. Okay. Yeah, there is a. Sorry. OpenStreetMap. This is open source. Actually, the same, but in OpenStreetMap, you can make the map by yourself. So this is also free access, but you have to. It is the same with Google Earth Engine. Sign in or sign up with your Google account, and it's editable and provide detailed information like church, maybe malls, and other office. And they have various layer. So here the OpenStreetMap show the administrative unit, and also road. So like if you want to do like for the SDGs 9.1.1, then you can use this OpenStreetMap. Like the 911 is the population, the proportion of population living 2 kilometers outside the road or something. And there is a cycling road, uh, and also the humanitarian layers. So this is the layers. So this is the OpenStreetMap. So half, and you can like search here because like I know the place, then you can just set the name in here. So this is so the road, tiny road. This is the example of some of the area in Jakarta. I forgot the area. Then this is part. So here this is the layer. So there is for layer like cycling, road, and humanitarian. There is four of layer in here. OpenStreetMap. See, I already sign in. So every time I open, then it's automatically to the OpenStreetMap. And this is the example. So this is the no border. So this is from the OpenStreet. The border of on the left is Mongolia, and on the right is Cambodia. And then that developed of by many people and always updated the road. And this is just example because I know the area. So this is the village of the South Jakarta, and on the right is the on the North Jakarta. And maybe yeah, should I jump up to combine or the one that World Bank and
No. Okay, just move the slides on a couple, please.
okay, yeah.
Well, so I mean, the OpenStreetMap is a kind of a good example of is a different type of big data. So it's citizen generated data. It might not even be called big data in a sense. Is that not right, TT? That a lot of the data is generated by citizens rather than satellites. Yeah.
Yeah. Generate by yes, using GIS. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is the way. Yeah. You can contribute. Like if you see that there is something wrong with this map. I mean, if I know this area, then I can contribute to correct the map. So it's called crowdsourcing.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, TT. Maybe I will I will share my screen now. Can you see my screen?
Yep, it's loading.
Slowly.
I think it is showing the Microsoft Team meeting. Maybe you have to bring up the slide. Or if you have two monitors, maybe bring the slide to the other monitor.
Okay. Can you see a colorful diagram?
Yes, we can see it now. Fantastic.
Okay, so I just wanted to very quickly introduce this diagram because it's very important way forward. So it's actually, this is the World Bank's diagram, and this is a project where the World Bank look at access to electricity, the same half of the same indicator, at least, which we are targeted on. And the World Bank have already been doing a lot of research using the nighttime light data to kind of develop an indicator on access to electricity. What their indicator doesn't do actually is look at the gender aspect. And actually they have produced data for Cambodia, and one of our next steps will be to, I think, look at that data and think about how we can use their learning going forward. And when we look at the next training, we're going to look at how do we combine different data sources to get a meaningful answer. And this diagram is really good to illustrate some of the data we have going forward for our project. So you can see that the nighttime light data is kind of one of the main inputs data to their model, but they've also used data from OpenStreetMap, something else called Grid Finder, which looks at where the electricity grid has provision points within certain geography, and they've used population data from census, household surveys, etc. And then they've looked at okay, how do you process all that data and then combine it into a model and eventually come out with kind of a meaningful access rate. So they in this model they're looking at the national level. What we want to do, I think, is look at as a smaller local administrative unit as we can, and also to bring in the gender data as far as we can to make it as meaningful as possible for gender policy making. So I just wanted to look at that. I think it's quite an exciting diagram to think about our journey ahead and the kind of questions that we've got to solve. We won't do that today, but next time we will look at, okay, how do we go about combining these data meaningfully? And at the end of the project, I think essentially we're going to have a model which looks a bit like this, which is relevant to Cambodia. So hopefully you can see how our investigations today of nightlight data actually fit in with where we're going with the project. And I'll do a very quick forward look. We have a big data conference next week in Yogyakarta in Indonesia, and the team here will be going, and I think at least one of you might be there. And that's a really good opportunity for us to discuss the challenges ahead for your project. The week after that, we can look forward to the next training course, which I said is about combining data sources, and let's see what help and learning we can get next week at the big data conference. And then, I mean, after that, we're going to have to start focusing on choosing data sources, how we're getting access, what are the strengths and weaknesses, how do we manage the quality issues, all these kinds of things. And we can start, I think, planning that and doing that in-depth thinking a little bit in the Inception workshop, which we need to agree on the date soon, which will hopefully be in December. And not to forget that I think, as we told some of you last week, at least, we have a planning tool which is kind of an open document where you are very welcome to use that on Google Docs and put in your questions, put in your thoughts about answering some of these questions which we know are facing us around what to do and how we're going to do it, so we can kind of keep track of where we are. So I'll stop there, and I'll hand over to Roth if you want to use any particular time, Roth, within the next 10 seconds, which we have left.
Okay, tough job. Well, okay, we're running out of time already. Just to say thank you, everyone, for joining today's session. I think we have we have a lot more people than the last one, simply because I think the last one, a lot of our Cambodian colleagues were attending another training, and that's why they weren't able to join. But today we have a lot of participants, and that's good. And also, you know, very big thank you to TT for the live demonstration. It was really helpful for us to see in real time how we can use Google Earth Engine. There's OpenStreetMap as well, but due to time constraint, we're not able to go through that. And as Matthew mentioned, there are a few key items for our next engagement. Next week we will not have a meeting because we will Mr. Somitia and I believe I forgot, is it Mr. Boni who will join us? Yes, to Yogyakarta. So we will meet there, and hopefully we can catch up over lunch or dinner to talk about our project moving forward. And after next week, we will have our third training, and I've already included in our calendar for that. I will share the meeting link on Telegram before the meeting, and then some other documents in the lead up to that as well. And obviously, the Inception workshop. We're still planning for that, and we can communicate further when we get more updates on that later on. Mr. Somitia, please, if you would like to share our last words for today's meetings.
Yes, thank you, Savanrod. Thank you, ESCAP. Thank you, Matu. Thank you, Titi, for your good presentation regarding to the night lifetime. That is very new thing that we need to learn, especially the NIS that we need to produce the official statistics by using big data. It's very interesting. And at this time, most of our staff is still in the process to do the survey. They will finish at the end of this month, I think. So after maybe the third training, we may get more on people to get this training. Thank you.
Thank you, Bong, for the kind words, and hopefully we'll continue to maintain this level of interaction moving forward as well. I won't keep you all from your lunches anymore, so I would like to close this meeting and hope you have a wonderful day, and see you next week, Bong. Bong. Bye. Thank you, everyone.